everyone, welcome back. It's UnkleDestiny here with you. We're not in our usual filming place, as you can see. We're outside again, and it looks like we're going to get a little sprinkled on, so we're going to make this quick. We're going to do our reading for November and see what the ancestors and spirits have to say, and see what's being brought in. Now we are moving into November, into the month of November, which is also going to have the holiday season in it, when for some that can be a contentious period of time. This is spending time with family and friends. It also can, for some people, be a financially draining time as we move towards Black Friday. Now, understand, we are under no obligation to go out and shop. It's just one of those holidays that's really good for the stores, and they entice us with deals. And sometimes the best deal is not about the objects you give, but the experience and time you spend with others. So, that being said, let's go ahead and see what the month of November holds for everybody as I get wet. So, what has fallen? We have our three main bones. This one down here is work. This one here is about family, and this one's about home. Now, it's shaped like a backwards C, with the copper piece here at the center. And if you recall, last month I was talking about it formed a container, and in many ways it does form a sort of container as well, but it's a container that's falling apart. Things are spilling out through the hole. Rather than it falling vertically, it's falling out horizontally. We have the way the other support bones fall. With this one, with the month of November, we're looking at well, let's go to the work bone. There's definitely supports elements around it. There is going to be some strife elements that are coming up, angry words. You may be encountering somebody that you have an issue with, that you've sort of been keeping a distance from them, as a way of addressing that issue. Well, it's not really addressing the issue, but it's keeping a distance in such a way that it doesn't cause more flames and sparks to go through, because there is definitely things that you're upset about, but you can't be certain that they'll really ever listen to what you're actually upset about and acknowledge it, and take it as being something that they may actually need to explore within themselves that's affecting this problem. But you will find also support too from work and around the situation. But you also need to be able to build on your wishes, build on your dreams. So that means also continuing to work in such a way that what makes you tick in this job, not what makes somebody else tick, is important. And that brings into the energy that comes into the copper piece with the spirits and so forth. There is a deeper spiritual connection to the work you do. And you'll find that when you remember to keep spirit always as part of your work. The spirit of ethics, the spirits of relationships, the spirit of purpose. What is your purpose? And that purpose, depending on the job, may really truly involve relationships with people. And what you may believe is a good, wonderful relationship is not always the case. Hence the situation you have with this person that you're keeping at a distance. They may not even realize that they are just completely dropping the ball when it comes to the relationship. So it's going to take time, and you're going to be confronted with that. When you are, you'll have to make your choices. Do you continue to keep them at bay? Do you at least share some of it? Or is it really truly ultimately time to walk away from it all and start anew? Now, you may never truly escape them, but you can be much clearer about what boundaries are now set between you and them. So when we move over into the family and home bones, they're actually rather light. The home bone, other than its proximity to the family bone, is pretty much empty. So that says that you may be dealing with some time this holiday season where it is much more about, less about people and about being at home and having your own personal space. One of the most difficult things about November and December is the family time, and sometimes being forced to be around people who aren't exactly your friend. I mean, they may be family, but you don't have a good relationship with them. So recognize that there is a certain beauty, but also reason for solace and solitude. And if somebody is not wanting to have that time with your family, respect them, because that may be a point where they need the time away to be able to bring themselves back to center. Not everyone is an extrovert and needs to be around people 24/7. But when we move into the family, there is still some support bones around it, but they're not in contact. So on that same note, you do want to keep the lines of communication open. That can just simply mean sending a card. That could simply mean making sure that someone's getting the gift basket that they get every time with fruit. But you want to make sure that that line of communication is still there. It's not completely gone, but it needs to be there. Now I have some other bones off to the side here, which are the ones that are things that are floating in, and these are the things that are going to be bringing in not just for November, but also into December. There is something that is going to be birthed. A new project, a new relationship, a new idea, and that's coming. And it is something that's got a lot of structural support to it, so you want to make sure that you put the infrastructure into it as you're building this new idea. That's very important, but because you build that in there, it's going to make things much easier down the road. Things are going to become much easier to do the videos for. So I mean, it's like this video right now. When I originally started, it was a chore to do all the video editing. Now I can just do it lickety-split because I know what I'm doing and I have a process down. So making sure that that infrastructure is there helps you speed things up. I also see some resolves around finances and some changes coming around finances. I see them all being very positive changes, but don't expect that means that you're going to win the lottery or so forth. It might mean you're getting a promotion. It might mean an expense is going to go away. It might mean that you may get a raise of a couple of percentage. But it also can mean that you're going to have a new source of funding coming in. So, and that I think also builds with the new idea that's coming. So, that's about what I see for right now. And that's about it for what the ancestors are giving me. I will say that there is a sense of... we got one bone here that kind of reminds me of a fishtail. And I sense that it's not just about wealth and riches, since it's near the section where we're talking about money, but I also feel like it's a sense of travel. There's going to be a reason for you to travel, either in November, December, or into this next year that's coming. But there's a sense of travel, and it's also going to involve water. So you may be traveling over water, you may be traveling on the water, you might be traveling under the water, which will be a fun experience. Or you may be traveling someplace where water is much more prevalent, like a lake or towards the coast. But understand that you're going to be moving with that. What else that brings, I don't know. We have to see what December and the new year has to say for it. But with that, this is Uncle Destiny signing off and wishing you a merry November, and I'll see you in December. Bye. Ashe.